Yes, I realized too how important expression is to me. Like
Mm,
like creative expression and just I think it's the same really like as presence, but just
mhm,
letting my whole self come through however she is that day. And just remembering how much that means to me and remembering that I actually grew up in dance and I was so in love with my life when I was dancing because I was just expressing and being and there wasn't really like well there was a little bit of like it has to be this good perfectionism and things and I was totally in flow when I was in that
mhm.
state. So just remembering lately how much expression fulfills me. And it's like non-goal oriented and all about that presence where I'm in my body and not so much in my head.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention this in the intro, but your videos, I'm like, girl, let that girl move. Holy moly. They make me smile all the time. And I have
Aw,
a bit of a yearning. I'm like, if only I could do that. I should
thank
just
you.
try. I should just stop like wondering and just let it go and see what happens.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, I love
It's
that.
it's so incredible because of course, I've shared my story and I've done so much advocacy work and all these things. And so often the women that I work with or connect with are inspired to reach out to me because of those dance videos. And I think that that comes back to that thing of like the power of presence and the power of just like expressing ourselves fully and how felt that is. Because like, yeah, I can feel when I'm with someone who's comfortable in their body and like connected to their breath. So, yeah.
It's interesting, right? But it comes down to that authenticity. And is this, I mean, you've been on quite a journey. I mean, before your story became more well known and, have had a lot of media attention and interest in this story because it goes so counter to our culture of reward and punishment, right? And like good and bad, like this dichotomy. And your position is right in the middle of the more, I would say, courageous path in some ways. I mean, there's so much around our criminal justice system and our society that doesn't allow for healing. So I appreciate that you've been on this healing journey before the big trauma that shifted things quite a bit for you. Um, and so this insight that you had from this blessed yoga teacher around, connection and contribution, was that something that you were aware of prior to this, like, momentous shift in your life, or did that come after?
Good question. I think that I was already very connected to connection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before this trauma, when I was 21, I was living on an ashram. When I was just 15, I picked up Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, and like that really changed my life. So I was definitely on this path already, but after
Mm-hmm.
experiencing sexual trauma, I think that I really got how important contribution is. And I'd actually say that like contribution partially saved my life
Mm-hmm.
because I was so shut down and so devastated, and it was purpose that kept me going. It was like creation that kept me going, and that's like when I got really into writing and I wrote some poems and I published those poems and that level of okay, this horrible thing happened for me, to me, but I'm going to stay here and I'm going to devote my life to making change in the world and helping to like Gandhi style be the change and make and help break these cycles of pain. Having that level of purpose and direction and meaning really, really like made me stay here and made me like find this fire to come out of my hole of despair.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.